Hello there, welcome back to our North FM radio stations. We have guest for today. His name is Elias. Today we are going to speaking about how technology shape the way we approach and compose music in our modern days compared to the days of Beethoven. So without any further ado, what is song?
So, if we are going to begin small like that, a song is just a multiple musical instruments, including vocals, which is also an instrument on its own, playing in harmony all together, creating a rhythm. So that's just basically what a song is.
So has technology evolved its meaning?
Yeah, so if we're talking about back in the days of Beethoven, where there was just pianos and just physical instruments, there wasn't really much of tweaking knobs and shifting octaves and this and that. It was just very realistic, where it's just one way of doing things. Like, for example, for a piano, no pads, no octaves up and down, no mixing knobs, none of that. So it was just basically going in one motion. Right here I got an example which what music sounded like back in the days, and there was only one way, so it's just either this or something like it. Now, with our modern tools, we have the ability to take the same sound and shift it into multiple octaves, reverse some notes, basically just having an unrealistic rhythm, which makes the sound more interesting. It doesn't always sound very good, but most of the times it sounds very interesting, and it gives a new way of things to sound. As for example, right here, I've used a DAW called Fruity Loops with an effect called Rose Beat. It basically shifts that audio file in different octaves and reverse, creating a different motion, resulting into a interesting creative pattern, which sounds like this. So nowadays we actually take these effects for granted since they are at our disposal. But if you take this same piece back to their days, honestly, they would really think that this music was made from heaven, because they would not understand or even begin to comprehend how such a thing like that is possible. Yes, nowadays you can hear the sound and think that it's just normal, or yes, it's interesting, and yeah, okay, that's it. But back in the days, people would really be amazed by such a sound like this, not because of an individual doing it or something like that, but by how it sounds and how unrealistic but realistic it is.
Okay, so what are benefit side effects?
Okay, so the benefits to that is there are new ways, rhythms, and patterns to be expressed and experienced. For example, if we don't like the way normal music sounds, the classical music, we can have a complete out-of-the-box rhythm where it just doesn't sound realistic at all, but it's still in tune, it's still in rhythm and in sync. But yeah, that's one benefit. The other benefit is that if you ever get bored from normal music, you can flip any sample or an audio that you make with a normal piano to very interesting full pattern. Like I said, you can be playing in 4 octaves in just one composition, which might sound extreme or extra, but in some cases it does sound interesting and very pleasing to the ear. As for the side effects would be that people are not familiar with this type of music, which makes it foreign to the untrained ear. Most of the times people in some cases fear the unknown, and when it comes to music they just rather reject the unknown, so they would not really go with that music because the majority of the population can barely grasp the way music works. So normal music is already hard enough for them to follow. Probably in the future people would be more interested in this new techniques. So that was the side effect. Probably the majority of the people are still catching on classical music. I'd say 70% of the population does not know how to play any instrument. So just by listening alone is already an experience, but by knowing how to play and listening is still a different experience.
Okay, before we close our podcast, can you give any theme of music instrument?
Yeah. So, for example, I have these drums right here, which we are just basically going to demonstrate normal acoustic sounding drums. After that, I'd be playing programmed drums, which is impossible to do with normal hands. It's like, for example, playing 5 notes in a second, which can only a dog can do. This is the acoustic drums. Then I'll be playing the synthetic drums. Okay, so as we can hear, that's just a very normal sounding drum pattern, which for a trained ear can understand that with 2 hands and a foot, we can play the kick, the hats, and all that all in one time. It's very possible for a human being to demonstrate that physically. But as for these synthetic drums, I doubt anyone would ever be able to do such a thing like this. Because it's impossible, not that they lack talent or something like that. As we can hear right there, it's mainly in the hats. Nowadays we call them the hat rolls. So these are in an acoustic drum kit. They are called the closed hats. So these ones, right? I don't think it's possible for anyone to play these rolls in real life. If we hear them again, that one right there, basically you'll need a DAW and able to play that in a second. So you can program these hats in a DAW to play, for example, 6 notes in 1 second.
Okay, sounds good, Elias. Thank you for today. I hope everyone get new knowledge and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.